We're not only meaning-seeking creatures, but social ones as well, constantly making interpersonal comparisons to evaluate ourselves, improve our standing, and enhance our self-esteem. 2. When comparing ourselves to someone who's doing better than we are, we often feel inadequate for not doing as well. 3. Comparing ourselves with someone who's doing worse than we are risks scorn, the feeling that others are something undeserving of our beneficence. 4. Comparing ourselves to others can also lead to benign envy, the longing to reproduce someone else's accomplishments without wishing them ill, which has been shown in some circumstances to inspire and motivate us to increase our efforts in spite of a recent failure. 5. However much the science of the future can explain, the explanations it gives will have to make use of certain fundamental laws and principles. 6. Since nothing can explain itself, it follows that at least some of these laws and principles will themselves remain unexplained. 7. Laughing with strangers served to create a social bond that made each person in the pair feel comfortable. 8. This finding implies that their frequency of laughter was not because we find things funnier when we are with others, but instead, we are using laughter to connect with others. 9. A supply schedule refers to the ability of a business to change their production rates to meet the demand of consumers. 1. For example, the supply of a sport product can be increased by providing more seats, changing the venue, extending the playing season, or even through new television, radio, or internet distribution. 2. Strangers stand further apart than do acquaintances. Acquaintances stand further apart than friends, and friends stand further apart than romantic partners. 3. Physical distance between people is determined by relationship status, but when the distance is not appropriate, people adjust their nonverbal communication to establish a comfortable psychological distance. 4. Highly creative architects were more likely than their technically competent, but less original peers, to come from homes with plenty of friction. 5. It was one of their most passionate and prolonged arguments that led them to rethink a critical assumption that had prevented humans from soaring through the skies.